I thought I would take what... Oh, geez, that's a nice place. I thought I would take what little... it's a golf course. I thought I would take what little light we had left to talk about. A pretty good day overall. Yes, we're going to miss Yo Mr. Racing. He is the last one to race tonight. He doesn't race for an hour, so I thought I would try and do a video now. Someone's have used up a lot of my data, and I got a message 9 days before it rolls over that I've used 75% of my data. So I'm going to have to, which is an extraordinary amount of data also, by the way. So I'm going to have to load this when I get to the hotel. So I guess I could have waited for Yo Mister, but I just thought the last little bit of light we had, I would do a video for you guys. Pretty good day. Now, it could always be better. I can look at horses that were second beat 3/4 of a length that I thought, geez, it would have been great if that horse had a won, or horses that were third or fourth that could have been third, that could have been second. But overall, a pretty good day. Victory Blue Chip kicked it off with a win. I asked Scotty, I said, will you do me a favor? Can you go to the track a little bit early and go last trip with Victory Blue Chip? I want you to put the hobbles on tight, where you think they're tight. You know how I wear them when they're tight. That's how I'd like to see them. And clearly he did a great job, because I watched him remove 2 moves before the 3/8, cleared to the front, hung on to win in 58, a good mile from Victory Blue Chip. And truthfully speaking, we never got to the part where I said, and he's not really good on the front, because he's never trained great on the front in his life. But he certainly looked good today in racing on the front end. Vaquero Blue Chip made a break. I told him after also, I said, this guy needs this. Vaquero Blue Chip is a tricky horse. You'll score him down. It doesn't matter how fast you want to score him down. You say, this horse feels great. But as you get into the mile, whether he just shrinks up a little bit or what he does need his hobbles tight. Right now, maybe he won't 4 starts, 5 starts next year. I don't know. But right now they have to be on tight. And if they're not, as you get into the latter stages of the mile, sometimes I've seen him do it training. Sometimes I've seen him do it, I saw him do it schooling one day also. He needs right now. He needs a little set of training wheels to get him through. Now, I don't think even if Scotty had the hobbles on a little tighter, he was going to be a winner. Looked like maybe 3rd or 4th, but a pretty good mile nevertheless. I thought the horse, right before he made a break, was going to get a big chunk of that money. And I'd said to Megan after also, she said, maybe a Stallion Series with him. I said, yeah, we could, absolutely. That's an option. I just think that this horse is so handy that he could make a tiny dent, if not a bigger dent, in the Sire Stick division. But the same could be said for the Stallion Series. So I guess it's one of those times where I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to think about it. Nothing has to be made. No decisions have to be made today. So I'll think on it. I said to Scotty, I know you we'll talk about Lonely Lakewood in a minute. I said, how was Memory and Imagination? He was awesome today. I was so impressed with this horse. I thought he was going to win. I knew they were going a big mile, and I thought he was going to get up to win. He just got nosed out. And, of course, Timmy's drifting across the track. The first thing you ask yourself is, had he went to the inside, was he a winner? I don't know. Maybe not, but he sure looked good and sure raced good. Very, very impressed with Memory and Imagination. Now, there's such a thin line between the proper amount of weight to help him trot and too much, because he did touch his right elbow today. And I just think maybe he needs to be shod. It'd be nice if we get those bell boots off. We just can't just yet. He's so close to being perfect, right in a perfect spot. But today he just touched his right elbow. But the horse raced fantastic. He is a legit contender in the Sire Stake division. That was the fastest mile, I believe, by far today. I didn't look at all of them, so maybe I'm wrong. But 56, 28 flat on the end of it, and he looked exceptionally good. Lonely Lakewood looked good, but he got bumped into maybe 3 or 4 times in the mile. Starting down the backstretch, he went to come out, and it looked like Aki went out. Then he went to go back in. Of course, Aki went in. In the last turn, he was going to stay left. Couldn't. Wheeled him to the outside. Looks like he got bumped again, and then had to fan him out 4 wide down the lane, and was just beat for second. I thought the horse raced well. Now, I had a great conversation with Scotty after about what should we do with Lonely Lakewood? You guys may not know this or may not remember this. He is dual eligible. He can go to Kentucky. He does hit a knee, and he does get into his jacks. It would be a reasonable thought process to believe that one of the most forgiving racetracks on planet Earth would be a good place for Lonely Lakewood to grow, to speed up, to carry a speed, to learn how to be a racehorse. So I think as I drive down the road for the next 3 hours and 42 minutes, I think that that is exactly what we're going to do. So you may see Lonely Lakewood surface in Kentucky his next start. So if you're one of my partners out there and you have more than 4% ownership in Lonely Lakewood, you may very well, you will need a Kentucky license, because although I will sleep on it also, I believe that is the right path for Lonely Lakewood. Activation. I said, I'm watching him clear to the front, and I know I covered him up because I know how lazy Activation can be. And I said, it's almost like I needed popcorn. I said, I'm going to be very curious to see how this mile goes with Activation on the front. And he chased him and chased him and chased him. Then Brady Brown cleared to the front, and he come back around him down the lane. But I think Timmy it was, I believe, had the jump on both of them and drove away. But Activation charged down the lane to be second. He held some in reserve, that's for sure, to put it mildly. And Scotty worked the best he could, but he's just a lazy bugger sometimes. I thought the horse raced well, though. We're gonna have a lot of fun with him. And as I said to Scotty thought his hobbles were tight. He said, I'm gonna just go ahead and put, I'll talk to Tim about it this week, maybe put belly band hobbles on that horse, letting his hobbles out. He almost doesn't need them now. In fact, if there's an overnight between now and whatever's next for him, you may see him be tried with no hobbles on. I don't know if he even needs them anymore. He has been so good, and I think he'd be a much better horse without them. Now I got to Pennsylvania. Now I'm looking on the calendar. Somebody said the other day, you missed Sunset Acres, girl. Yeah, well, Curtis didn't add her to the calendar. When I'm looking at 17 or 16 horses, I don't see Crantini on here. I don't see Horn Player on here. And I don't see Austral Hanover on the calendar today. So if I missed more than those three, blame Curtis. But for right now, I'm going to start with Crantini. Obviously, Tim, I felt bad. Tim's horse raced and finished 5th. And the sense I got from Scotty was that he kind of got ahead of Scotty a little bit, where if he hadn't known the horse, he felt he could have had a much more favorable finish. Well, I did know the horse after training him the other day. Activation, I know him very well also. But I just couldn't go to Philadelphia, especially when Scotty was there. There was no need for me to be there. And then you factored in Crantini. I just felt I needed to be at the Meadows. And my day was not easy. These two little girls and me got up at 5:45. We were out the door at 6. We were in Cleveland at Northfield Park at 11 a.m. I trained H.O. Ballou. Trained okay. I think he needs some work. Just tinkering with him, but I'll get to that this week. I'd already talked to the blacksmith. I thought he was ready to go right now, but I was wrong. It's going to take a little bit. And then I trained Militant with the hobbles on, just so we know where the hobbles go for Militant. I was very, very happy with him. Then we get in the car, came all the way over here to the Meadows, right? So now we've been on the road since 6. It's now 5 o'clock. We get to, I know exactly when we got here, 5:16. First race was going behind the gate. I had to warm Crantini up after the first race. So I rushed up. Addie and Ava went out front. If you've ever been to the Meadows where the paddock is, just picked the tables out front. They sat out there, watched the races. I raced Crantini. I guess I can work that in right now. Crantini, I thought raced good. Hard line left, finishing up the mile. Felt like a stifle, but Megan said the left knee bothered him a little bit last time when she had him. So I think somebody just sent me a message. I think that left stifle and then probably just do his knees, but behaved, and I know why now. That martingale is so tight, he couldn't move if he wanted to, and he's behaved. He sulks a little bit in the mile. That's why he's not hot coming out of the gate. Now, in fairness, we have earplugs on him and an ear hood, so we're making him as quiet as we can. But I think he's pouting a little bit because he had his head tied right down. Too bad. He's going to have to learn. Hey, you, shush. He's going to have to learn that we don't play that way, right? And I'm glad I have some leverage on Crantini now, where I'm ahead of him. I'm one step ahead of him. So he actually raced good. First over, 54 flat. He probably tried about 54-1. I thought he raced pretty good. All things considered, though, the left line has to play a role, so we'll get him vetted out. I suspect the way he was on it finishing up, left stifle, and could be left knee also. Could be both. Or it could just be the knee, but I believe there's something. This isn't, oh my God, what's wrong with Crantini? It's just maintenance stuff, but I was happy with the way he behaved, the way he maneuvered. Listen, at any time we can start peeling away gear, right? We have a lot of stuff on him that will keep him quiet at any point when we feel he is now consistently doing his work. Now, 2 in a row isn't consistently, but it's well on its way. I'm impressed with the way he's been behaved his last 2. If the 2 turns into 3, 3 turns into 4 and 5, at that point we can start taking maybe the earplugs out from under the hood, maybe even the hood off him, take that fly screen off him, but I'm not going to let him go. I got him now with the martingale. He's going to stay right there for now. So a lot of growth from Crantini, but truthfully speaking, he's well on his way to behaving. So I've been very, very happy with he's a police officer. Very, very happy with him today. Austral Hanover, I just thought it was a walkover, right? We're just gonna, both Ronnie, Ren, and I were talking behind the gate, and both of us thought we had no shot, really just trying to salvage a check. He ends up winning the race. Austral Hanover charged past to finish 3rd. I believe his mare is an aged mare, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's got to be at least 4. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But Austral Hanover, I told him, I said, he passed more horses tonight than he did in his entire 2-year-old season, I think. Because he was always sitting 1-2, I think, in his 2-year-old season. But he passed, finished 3rd, passed 6 tonight, I guess. And raced very, very good. Doing it. Very proud of what I saw from him. Come off the track, he was super comfortable. Now, the only dig was, when Mark drove me, he was pacey. His next start on me, he was pacey. Last week, he was pacey. And tonight, a little pacey. I think we'll just add, rather than toe weights and weighted shoes, I think we'll just go easy. Old school, just put an extra set of bell boots on him or a pair of weighted bell boots on him for his next start. And I think that will clean what we need, clean everything we need up. Horn Player. Probably, of all the horses that raced today, one of the most interesting miles. This filly has now turned a corner, I believe. It's so weird. She went from a 2-year-old needing hobbles tight and, getting hot and warm. She wore a snake cord. Now she comes out this year. We try to qualify her with no hobbles. She runs all over the track. Put the hobbles on her, qualify her, race her. She wins her first start, but it was just sheer power. She just overpowered them. And then really has been present since that win. Nothing great, just present. The best race I think she went was maybe even when Chris Lems drove her. So she comes back from Kentucky. We race her at Northfield. Again, ordinary, really ordinary. The last time I drive her in the warm-up, she just feels like she wants more hobble. I let her hobbles out 4 holes in the warm-up. I let them out another 4 holes in the post parade, I think. Long. That's a lot of strap to be letting out. Shh. Hey, you. Shh. Addie Bear. Thank you. So, I pull up that night and I said, she raced pretty good. I think I'd like to take her to the Meadows and take the hobbles off her. Now, the reason you have to go to the Meadows is Ontario, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Kentucky, I believe, all those states now will just let you take the hobbles off or put them on as long as you enter the horse in that manner. Not Ohio. Still old school where you got to qualify on and qualify off. So I just said to Jason, I think I'd like to take the horse over to the Meadows and race her. Now, last week she raced good, but we only raced her for a quarter of a mile. Tonight, much better. I get her out in the last turn. She airmails them. She's gone if I get her out in the last turn, but I didn't want to rush her. I'm constantly telling myself, don't put her on the run. Don't even put her in a place to even think about running. Just be very quiet with her. Down the lane, that was all her. I didn't even pull the earplugs. I didn't have enough room to get there. I had enough horse to get there. She didn't have enough racetrack to get there. She was very, very good, very close to us being able to really race this filly. 3 or 4 more starts like this, maybe not even 4, 2 or 3 maybe, and we could have a discussion of sending her somewhere to do some real damage and get a real good mark on her. She has turned a corner and wants to be a horse now and looks very, very good on the track. Really, really impressed with her. As excited as I was about the 2-year-olds and how impressed I was with Austral Hanover and happy with Crantini, the mile from Hornplayer was impressive to me. I got to watch Coupe de Ville, first over, 55 flat, 28.4 in the end. Just got picked off for second. She raced very admirably. Raced very, very good. I'm impressed with her. Now, What a Mission. I thought they'd give him an IX. Now, I only saw the one view, one time as they said go, but it looked to me like he got interfered with. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, obviously, they didn't give him an IX, so maybe they didn't. But he definitely got jostled. The horse made a break, and then he made a break 2 strides later. A horse that hasn't made a break except for when he got interfered with behind the gate in his first start of the year. So I was really surprised to see him make a break. And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he didn't deserve an IX, but it looked to me like he definitely got jostled. Either way, an unfortunate IX for, or just an X, I guess, for What a Mission. Kings County looked great. You know, it looked like he was beaten halfway down the lane, but just kind of hung tough. He's such a nice horse. Hung tough, gritted out a victory. Super impressed with the way he's behaved. JK Victory, again, another third in 149. That last turn, it just looks like he's all done, and then he comes on again down the lane. Maybe it is the track. Maybe it is Indiana. I don't know. But he looked good again tonight. Another good mile from him. Smoking Hot Irish Girl. I thought she was 4th place third. She was 5th place 4th. She raced good. First over into that crew is not her cup of tea. A couple of breakers helped. But mustered a 4th. I think I'd like to see her and Coupe de Ville hit a couple of fairs to get their confidence up, to be honest. Coupe de Ville has been racing so tough. And I know Jason's going to see this and say, how are you going to get Coupe de Ville around a fair? You're not going to have to coax her around a fair. She likes to do her work, and she loves to beat up on horses. You get her in with some horses she's supposed to beat, and she'll feel like King Kong in no time. And then we went to Ontario. J-Port Beach Boy. A good mile from this guy. You know, outmatched. The only one that I thought was poor tonight was Watch Your Mouth. And I know Nelly had messaged me after, said he's been running down a lot. I think right before he went over to Harry's, maybe a couple of weeks before, he had run down from the speed. Now, running down long pasturelands, and their ankle actually hits the ground, right? We have a number of horses. It's a common thing. It sounds uncommon, but it's very common. But it doesn't look like it was maybe in check the way it should have been. And his ankles blew up a little bit. It's a sense of tenderness and soreness for this horse. So Nellie and her mom and Harry are working away trying to get that cleaned up. Was he a little bit sick tonight or something also? It could have just been the skin soreness, or it could have been something else. I don't know. They are going to scope him and get him looked at. But he was the only one that I thought was disappointing tonight, especially for a horse that had qualified and looked so good in his earlier races. As I said, J-Port Beach Boy, I thought great. I thought he looked very, very good tonight. And Great Bet, again, continues to look impressive. You guys are getting a look at just one more second, turn down, babe. You guys are getting a look now exactly how tough the grassroots are all the time. You know, here we got horses that are pacing 55, 56, 55, 56, in some cases 54, and they're knocking on the door. It's the same situation with Gandalf, right? A nice horse. There's a lot of them in Ontario. Makes it tough. There's such a razor-thin line between a really, really good grassroots horse and a good gold horse and a horse that's present. And we'll probably, I would say, off that Watch Your Mouth, if they get him squared away properly, go to the Prospect Series. I think Great Bet and J-Port Beach Boy can hang out in the grassroots maybe. And again, we're going to have to talk more about that as the week goes on. But nice horses, just not there, right? Not sire stake material and just really pretty decent grassroots material. So at least they're going. They're racing. We had 3 of them tonight. I think J-Port was 4th. Great Bet was 3rd. Watch your mouth. Unfortunately, he didn't get a check. A very good day, top to bottom, regardless of what Yo Mister does in the Open. I know he's 6, 7, 8, 9 to 1 morning line or something, but when you look at it, Victory Blue Chip was awesome. Vaquero Blue Chip was getting a big chunk and made a break today. Memory and Imagination is a top player in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes. That's what we wanted. That's what we have with this guy. Lonely Lakewood was good. A good effort. I'm going to send him down to Kentucky. I'm almost certain of it. We'll send him down to Kentucky to race in the Incentive B, C divisions down there. Just let him become a good horse down there. That'd be a great place for him. Activation was good. Cheated a little bit, but was good. Coupe de Ville, great. What a Mission, unfortunate. Kings County, great. JK Victory, very good mile from him. Smoking Hot Irish Girl, Scab to 4. Looked good to me. J-Port Beach Boy, great bet. Both did good things. Really just watch your mouth. And a couple of watch your mouth, a breaker, and 2 breakers, and watch your mouth were the only downfalls of tonight. Today, a pretty good day, top to bottom. Super excited about the Sire Stakes now. The stake races in Pennsylvania and in Ohio, Kentucky coming up. We have Arson next week. We have Pickpocket on the 30th. We're gonna send down, one sec, sweetheart. We're gonna send down Lonely Lakewood also. We'll see how Affection races this week too, and then we'll make our minds up. But there'll be 4 or 5 or 6 horses heading down to Lexington in the Red Mile. So tomorrow we got Atlas Hanover Tailgate Buzz. Don't talk about Bruno making his first start, and it looks like money races for a lot of money. Tomorrow, Gandalf the Black is looking to get his career back on track. Mounds for all of Mel Gibson surface in Indiana with Ron Burke, and No Free Lunches buried in Mohawk. So with that, I'll let you guys go. We'll talk about Yo Mister tomorrow. Good luck to my partners in the Yo Mister group. I can't wait to watch him race. He still doesn't race for another 40 minutes. So I'll talk to you all very soon. I hope you had a wonderful day, because we did have a very wonderful day at thestable.ca.